Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Spanish lesson.
Today, we're going to be talking about verb phrases. That's when two verbs work together as a single unit. Think of when you see something like, I'm still studying Spanish.
Sigo estudiando español.
So that sigo estudiando is our verb phrase.
The first verb is conjugated, and the second verb is always going to be in the infinitive, gerund, or past participle.
Yeah, and these verb phrases are the best way to express actions when you want to talk about starting to do something, or stop doing something, or continue doing something, or something that you have to do.
And stick around all the way to the end because we're going to be sharing some must-know tips on some of these expressions. So let's get started.
Okay, our first one is kind of a double. We have tener que and hay que plus an infinitive. Now, this expresses an obligation, or when we want to say we have to do something. But we use tener que to express someone's personal responsibility. So for example, if I were to say, I have to work tomorrow.
Tengo que trabajar mañana.
Or you have to study more.
Tienes que estudiar más.
Or we have to leave soon.
Tenemos que salir pronto. Whereas hay que translates to one must or it's necessary to.
Exactly. So instead of a personal responsibility, it's used for like general rules or norms. So for example, you have to respect the rules.
Hay que respetar las reglas.
So what confuses a lot of students between tener que and hay que is because we translated it to like you have to respect the rules. But we're not talking about you personally. This is a general rule or norm. It's like saying one must respect the rules or people must respect the rules. So that's where it gets tricky. Let's see a few more. You must arrive early.
Hay que llegar temprano.
Or you have to be careful driving.
Hay que tener cuidado manejando.
So remember, we're not saying you personally have to be careful driving. We're saying people have to be careful driving. One, it's necessary to be careful driving.
Number 2, ir plus a plus infinitive expresses to be going to do something in the near future.
Now, most students are probably already familiar with this verb phrase because it's a great way to sort of cheat when you first start learning Spanish and use this expression instead of learning the future tense. As Darcy just said, it's kind of like saying you're going to do something in English. So, for example, I'm going to travel next week.
Voy a viajar la próxima semana.
We're going to eat dinner now.
Vamos a cenar ahora.
Are you going to call your mom?
¿Vas a llamar a tu mamá? Number 3, seguir or continuar plus a gerund expresses to keep doing something or to continue.
Now, if you don't remember what a gerund is, that's when we conjugate our verb into something like hablando or estudiando or viviendo. So let's see an example. Are you still living in Madrid?
¿Sigues viviendo en Madrid?
So we first conjugate seguir, sigues, and then have a gerund, viviendo. Sigues viviendo is our verb phrase. She continues working at that company.
Ella continúa trabajando en esa empresa.
They keep talking during class.
Siguen hablando durante la clase.
Now, before we go on to our next one, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you still haven't.
Number 4, llevar plus a gerund means to have been doing something when focusing on duration.
Now, in this way, we're going to conjugate llevar, then add a time expression, and then our gerund. And this tells us how long something has been happening. It's like saying, I've been doing something for X amount of time in English. So, for example, we've been living here for 3 years.
Llevamos 3 años viviendo aquí.
So you see we conjugate llevar, llevamos, then add our time expression, 3 años, and then our gerund, viviendo. So how would it be if we were to say, they've been waiting for an hour?
Llevan una hora esperando.
Or, how long have you been learning guitar for?
¿Llevas mucho tiempo aprendiendo a tocar la guitarra?
Side note, when you want to change this particular phrase to be negative, we need to change up the structure a little bit. You'll still conjugate the verb llevar and then add the time expression like normal. But now we're going to add the word sin, which means without, and then add an infinitive of a verb. So for example, I haven't done Duolingo in a year.
Llevo un año sin hacer Duolingo.
So see, we conjugate llevar, llevo, then we have our time expression, un año, the word sin, and then the infinitive of hacer. So let's do one more. I haven't seen you for 3 months.
Llevo 3 meses sin verte. Number 5. Estar plus a gerund expresses an action in progress.
Right, this is specifically for things that are happening right now. And it's equivalent in English to adding ing to a verb. So, for example, I can't talk right now. I'm writing an email.
No puedo hablar ahorita. Estoy escribiendo un correo.
So you see, it's like adding ing to a verb. So estoy escribiendo is I'm writing. It's an action that is happening right now. Okay, let's see another one. We're watching a movie.
Estamos viendo una película.
Now, a lot of times this form is used for emphasis or stress that you're doing something in this moment. For example, if we wanted to say, what are you doing? You could simply ask, ¿qué haces? But if you really want to know in this moment or you're stressing right now, it's better to say,
¿Qué estás haciendo?
So it's just that subtle difference of what you're doing right now.
Number 6. Quedarse plus a gerund expresses to remain doing something or to show that someone stays in a state or continues doing something.
For example, he stayed up late studying.
Se quedó estudiando hasta tarde.
We stayed talking for hours.
Nos quedamos hablando por horas.
I kept thinking about what you said.
Me quedé pensando en lo que dijiste. By the way, after this video, check out our video on all the ways using quedar and quedarse in Spanish. Now, really quick, we want to thank our supporters and members. Thank you to Brandon Page and Michelle Clark for your Buy Me a Coffee donations. Your support helps us create lessons like this to improve your Spanish. Muchas gracias.
Okay, now, number 7, volver plus a plus an infinitive expresses to do something again. This is the most common and natural way to express repeating an action. So, for example, I reread the book.
Volví a leer el libro.
Or, she called me again.
Volvió a llamarme.
We won the game again.
Volvimos a ganar el partido. Number 8. Empezar or comenzar plus a plus infinitive expresses to begin to do something.
Now, these verbs are completely interchangeable, but in my experience in Mexico, you're normally going to use empezar. Either way, remember both of these verbs are stem-changing verbs in some tenses. So the E will change to IE. So let's see a quick example of that first. In that office, they start working at 9 a.m.
En esa oficina empiezan a trabajar a las 9 de la mañana.
She started to cry during the movie.
Ella comenzó a llorar durante la película.
I started reading that book yesterday.
Empecé a leer ese libro ayer.
The surgery starts at 8 a.m. sharp.
La cirugía comienza a las 8 de la mañana en punto.
Now, before we get into our last 2 verb phrases, have you become a member of our community yet? If not, and you'd like to receive exclusive video lessons and posts, we'll leave all the links in the description of this video for our Patreon memberships, our YouTube memberships, as well as Buy Me a Coffee, where you can donate to the channel. Again, thank you so much for supporting us to improve your Spanish.
Number 9. Dejar plus de plus infinitive expresses to stop doing something, showing an interruption or the ending of an activity.
So, for example, it stopped raining.
Dejó de llover.
Or using this, we could give someone a command like stop smoking.
Deja de fumar.
Or we stopped talking after the argument.
Dejamos de hablar después de la pelea. And lastly, acabar plus de plus infinitive expresses to have just done something.
However, to express this recent action, we only use this phrase in the present tense or the imperfect tense. Now, to not get confused between the two, think of in the present tense saying, I have just done something, and in the past tense would be, I had just done something. So for example, in the present tense, I have just arrived.
Acabo de llegar.
Whereas if we use the past imperfect tense, we would say, I had just arrived.
Acababa de llegar.
So how would it be if we wanted to say, we just ate?
Acabamos de comer.
Or, did you just call her?
¿Acabas de llamarla?
I had just gotten home when they asked me to return to the office.
Acababa de llegar a casa cuando me pidieron regresar a la oficina.
And that's it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you still haven't so you don't miss any other videos like this.
Now watch this video to keep improving your Spanish. Until next time.